Hello everyone. In today's lecture we'll be studying about the concept of heat, work and temperature, and then we'll study about the sign conventions used in heat and work, which is very important in the study of thermodynamics. So let us begin. First, let us understand heat. Heat is basically the transfer of energy from one system to another, but the transfer results in the transferred molecules or atoms having random motion. For example, if we consider a cup of tea and a hand holding it, so there will be a transfer of heat from the hot cup of a tea to the cold hand or to the surrounding where it is kept. So we can say that heat is transfer of energy. Now work is also the transfer of energy, but the difference between the two is heat transfer energy is a random behavior, or it will be in any direction. You can see in the second figure that the molecule is having a random motion. Next is work. As I told you, work is also the transfer of energy from one system to another, but this is done in a uniform motion. Now let us understand this with the piston cylinder arrangement. You can see here there is a cylinder consisting of some gas having a fixed volume V1. Now this piston is in the fixed position here. Now when I provide a heat to this cylinder, there will be random motion of the molecules inside the cylinder, which in turn results into motion of the piston in one direction. As we know, the piston is also made up of molecules, and we see that all these molecules of piston move in a same direction. So that is work, which is transfer of energy or change of motion of atoms in a uniform manner. Let us understand temperature. Temperature is physical quantity that expresses hot or cold of a body or a system. Now temperature on the other hand is more to do with entropy. Now what is entropy? It is a thermal energy per unit temperature that is unavailable for doing useful work. Now let us understand this with an example. We have considered two systems, one cold and another hot. So now you need to understand temperature is not heat, but heat is a transfer of energy. Now temperature is very important for the transfer of energy. Here you can see a hot system is having temperature T1 and cold system is having temperature T2. We also know that the molecules in hot systems have more random motion than the molecules in the cold system. So after periodic time, when this both systems are coming in contact with each other, so after periodic time you will see that both the systems have attained the same temperature and there will be thermal equilibrium between the two systems. That means T1 will be equal to T2, and this is happening because of the transfer of heat. Means temperature is rather random energy which the molecules and atom contain, and we cannot do anything with it. So we cannot use it as a work. So temperature is just a physical quantity which increases on heating the body and decreases on cooling the body. But we cannot make use of this temperature. It is only occurring due to the transfer of heat. Same is in this case. You can see that hot water and cold water is in contact with each other, but you can see that due to the low density of the hot water will be at the upper surface and cold water will be at the lower surface. But after periodic time you can see that they will attain a equilibrium state. Alright, hope you have understood the difference between the temperature and the heat. Now sign convention, it is something which is very important while solving the numericals. So let us understand this. First is the heat received by the system is positive and heat rejected by the system is negative. So let us understand this with an figure. So this is a system. So when we give heat to the system, so the heat which is given to the system, it will be positive. And if we consider the heat if it is rejected by the system, then it will be negative. Now work done by the system on surrounding is positive, and work done on the system by surrounding is negative. So this is the system. So if we do work on the system, then it will be negative, and if we get work from the system, then it will be positive. So how you need to remember is, to a system we are giving some heat input. Okay, so when we give the heat input means it is the positive, and from when we give the heat input we get the work output. So both this heat and work will be positive, and it will be negative if it is the vice versa. Okay. Hope you understood the concept of heat, work and temperature, and thank you for watching the video.